Hello and welcome to our Ask the Expert interview series. Today we are excited to have a couple very loyal and involved supporters of the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation for a special Ask the Expert interview. For this month, we are happy to welcome in immediate past President Carol Hollander from the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation and current, just fresh into the new fiscal year, current President Mac Ferguson. So thank you both so much for joining us today.
My pleasure to be here.
And I'm Lindy, Executive Director of the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation. Proud for the opportunity to continue to serve our foundation and grateful for the opportunity to work alongside some wonderful individuals such as these two and so many more. So thank you to each of you watching who are in some way involved with Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation or might be interested in being involved with the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation. We thought it would be a great opportunity to hear some outgoing words of wisdom and exciting parting voices, although obviously Carol will remain on our executive committee as the immediate past president, and we hope will be long time and continue to be involved with the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation. But coming off of her year of presidency and then Mac Ferguson beginning his year, excited to continue working with both of you. So thanks again for joining us. We'll go ahead and kick off with some questions and look forward to hearing all of the wonderful things you all have to share with us. So first, Carol, I'd like to ask you, as the president of Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation during the 2023-2024 fiscal year, tell us a little bit about your goals that you had when you came into office.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to do was to make clubs more aware of the patron program. A lot of times clubs realize, oh, I can become a patron by making a donation, but they forget the other part, that we're there with programs to help pay for those eye surgeries. And a lot of times they just forget about that. So anytime that I was going and talking to clubs, I always made sure that I emphasized that, that option and that program is there to help the clubs, to help those individuals in their areas that need those additional eye services above just the basic eye exams that most clubs can provide. The other thing that I wanted to sort of keep on track was the low vision clinic. We got started towards the end of Ramon's year, and we're still working towards that, but we're getting closer. So those were two of the main ones that I was focused on this year.
Awesome. Yes, and great resources, like you said, to make sure people are aware of. And some people may not be aware that Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation is a nonprofit organization based in Louisville, but just because we're based there, like many companies might be based in a certain city for their headquarters, we cover the entire state of Kentucky and even surrounding areas beyond that. And we have representation as well on our board of trustees from Lions across the state of Kentucky to help be the voice of our foundation. And so that's, to me, such a vital part of making sure people are aware, because if they don't know about the resource, like you said, they won't be able to take advantage of that or help people in their local community. So yes, the patron program, very, very valuable, like our other programs and services, but definitely it is one that sometimes gets forgotten about or misunderstood, like you said. And our low vision clinic, similarly, a new project we're excited to be closer than we were yesterday, and we'll continue to be working towards that being open and a resource to serve people from across the state. And although, again, that it might be a clinic operated out of Louisville, it's open to people from anywhere. And so it might be an opportunity for people in a club in Eastern Kentucky or Central Kentucky to help someone, if they don't have transportation, for example, they might help them get access to that. So making sure people are aware of the services that our organization is continuing to provide free of charge, thanks to the generosity of our supporters. So next, Carol, I'd like to hear from your perspective a little bit about how your experience was being president of KLEF.
It was a wonderful experience, very positive overall. As with any organizations, there are challenges that pop up within a year, but you simply work through them and you keep moving forward. It's been great. I think clubs are very supportive overall of the foundation. So it's been good talking with clubs, but overall the experience has been wonderful.
Awesome. Well, we've been grateful to have you for sure. I know many people would echo that sentiment for sure. What's something that you learned about KLEF during your presidency that you didn't know before, Carol?
This one I have to think about a little bit, but I think one of the things that sort of made an impact on me is that we have the one building where KLEF is housed, but then we have the connecting building that Lions helped to build. Mm-hmm. And I had never been in that the other building until I was president and went over there. And one of the things that struck me is when you went in that lobby and you saw the wall of names of people who had made donations to make those buildings a reality, and to recognize the names of many, many Lions on that. And it was just, to me, very impactful. And I think sometimes because it's in our history, it's in our past, that we forget about that, and we need to bring that forward and say, hey, we've done this here. There are people here that are still Lions here in this Commonwealth that have contributed to this and made this a possibility. So I think that was something that just was, for me, very impactful.
Sure, absolutely. Yes. And this year we're celebrating 70 years of being a nonprofit organization serving people. And so, like you said, rich history, but not losing sight of that. But also for me, I know it's exciting to think about what we're doing today and imagine what that will look like 70 years from now, and people will reflect back on what we've done, and that'll be part of our longstanding history as an organization. So yes, I think being mindful of past, present, and future, to ensure our organization's healthy success for a long time to come. And thankfully to our forefathers and the folks that came before, making sure they made wise decisions to help our organization continue to operate, because some organizations don't celebrate 70th birthday, right? What are you most proud of from your past year of presidency, Carol?
I think part of it is seeing some of the steps that the foundation has been taking. We now have the 2 vision vans, and when it first started, it was like, well, there'd still only be 1 van out. But now routinely I'm seeing that both vans are out, so that the word has gotten out there. We're able to reach more individuals all at the same time. At the same time, I'm also proud that we're working towards that low vision clinic. I think it's something that is very missing in the state. And I think that's another way that KLEF can make a big impact here in the Commonwealth.
Absolutely. And what was your favorite part about being KLEF president?
My favorite part, I think, was just working with the people. And I'm talking with our trustees, our officers, and our staff, because I'm going to tell you, they're very passionate about what they're doing, and it's just very refreshing to see that, and to see everyone come together and to get these programs stay on track and to keep them moving forward.
Absolutely. Any advice you would share with Lion Mac as he begins? He's in day 2 of his year of presidency.
Lion Mac, stay as organized as possible. You've got a lot of talented individuals that are on the board, and your staff as well. So utilize them. Don't try to do everything yourself. Keep looking forward, and always listen to those around you, because they've got a wealth of knowledge that they can share as well.
Good advice.
Absolutely. Very good. Thank you so much, Carol. We'll shift gears a little bit, Mac, to you as incoming or now current KLEF president. What are you most looking forward to for this fiscal year?
I'm looking forward to working with our trustees, our staff, and just people out in the state. I think it's very important that we get out in the state of Kentucky and let everybody know exactly what KLEF does. I have found over the years that there are people that are not real familiar with what KLEF does. You mentioned those initials, they say, who? And you have to go into an explanation of what KLEF is, what KLEF does. And I want that to be more known, from starting to Harlan to Paducah, all over. Let's get the word out, what great services we offer, such as the vision vans that Carol mentioned. How many people know about that? How many people are taking advantage of that? There's so many programs that we can help folks with, and that's what we're all about, is helping folks.
Absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I think, like Carol mentioned, a lot of passionate individuals involved. And so that passion can be so wonderfully contagious when shared with others, right? And
most definitely.
yeah, so I think it's a great opportunity to continue to, even someone who might have felt like they understood 5 years ago, our organization continues to evolve and to change like the world, right? So making sure that they're up to date and because 5 years ago, we wouldn't have had 2 vision bands. We wouldn't be in the final stages of, preparing for a low vision clinic. So absolutely. So with your leadership, I know we'll continue to accomplish a greater awareness and knowledge about our foundation. So thank you.
I plan on doing everything I can, and just like on your computer, hit that refresh button and let's just start this thing. Let people know. Let
Mhm.
people know what's going on and what we have to offer. Even though we have people who have been around forever and ever, as you say, a lot of things have changed.
Mhm.
Let's get the word out.
Mhm. Absolutely. So obviously that'll be a big focus as you take the leadership of our organization. But do you have any specific goals for this year that you would like to work towards accomplishing?
I just want to make the biggest fundraiser that we have, Mr. Miss Basketball, even more prevalent than it is. You know, being born and raised in Eastern Kentucky, I haven't lived there since I was a kid, but I know how important basketball is to our state. I think we've got a great program in Mr. Miss Basketball. I think it can grow exponentially. The golf outing, I think the golf outing can grow fantastically. Let's just get the word out there again. Let everybody know what's going on. Invite everybody, and make it a fun adventure to get to these things.
Sure, absolutely. As president this year, are there any programs, services, or projects that are your top priority for the fiscal year?
I want to make sure that everybody knows what Kids Site is about. We're there to help adults and kids, but probably the most important thing we can do is just help kids that are in school, in kindergarten, in Head Start. Find those kids that really need help getting glasses, whether they need glasses, surgeries, or whatever. Let's get in there and help those babies. They are our future. It may be kind of corny to say, but we got to take care of those little ones. And
Absolutely.
I'd like to see that more than anything.
Yes, absolutely. We just met as a team last week, in fact, to lay out our staff goals that we always set internally and as a team, and always looking to add new KidSite teams and to make sure that we're providing training and resources for the KidSite program. So
Right.
that'll align well with a continued initiative and trying to grow that program. And obviously, our staff of 3 and even our very involved board of trustees can't screen thousands of people, or although we could, but like Carol said, we don't have to do it ourselves, and we shouldn't. And let's
Right.
motivate and inspire others to be involved, because it's a very it's a very powerful program to be involved with, especially one child whose parents might not have realized there was an issue, and through a screening with our Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation KidSite program, like you said, I mean, they are in those years, and early detection is so powerful. And imagine what a lifetime of positivity will be ahead, when they have the full potential with their vision, which is so instrumental and interconnected to so many other parts of their growing.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And communication, I think, is the biggest thing we need to work on. It's communication in any organization, in any Lions club, and in particular, Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation, between the staff. I mean, we've got a fantastic staff. We got clubs all over the Commonwealth of Kentucky that we need to reach out to and say, hey, we're here to help you. Just let us know all we can do. And speaking of that, I wouldn't mind to take a road trip. I mean, I like to go visit as many clubs as possible. Being district governor during the COVID year, lucky me, I got knocked out of a lot of visits. So I would love to go visit a bunch of clubs and say, hey, KLEF, does anybody know what that is? And see how many people raise their hand.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a continued, and I say it every year, I think that's a huge opportunity and area for growth in our organization. And it's, in our duties and responsibilities for our trustees, something we ask for them to do. And, those club visits, I mean, our staff can do only so many. We've done
Right.
quite a few, but I think it's also even more powerful when it's from a volunteer, passionate individual who is not, on the payroll, if you will, right, for an organization, and who is giving their time that is so valuable, and years of wisdom, and it's like peer to peer. And so again, our team will continue we do regular club visits and definitely, but I think that our trustees could really help our organization extend that knowledge base and that understanding by completing those club visits. We ask that of our trustees, and I think the feedback is positive. Usually when you can help share some information, is a little pride project, perhaps, right? Then if it's like a little club you might take on, and you see, wow, when I visited with them, they really didn't know what we were all about. And then, 365 days later, look all that they've done, through that conversation. And you just never know the potential, and the lives changed. And, I think that that's just, to me, a huge opportunity for growth. And I appreciate your motivation and being a voice of inspiration for others, through encouraging our trustees to help, and our staff to continue to share the word. So absolutely, I think that'll lead to tremendous things. Mac, what made you interested in serving as a trustee of KLEF and working towards being now president?
Over the years, I saw what Lions do for our Commonwealth of Kentucky, and as I got into the Lions Club and KLEF, I got an opportunity to see what the Lions Foundation can do for our kids in particular, adults in particular, and just how we can help each other. We can help each other grow. We can help each other just with vision, with anything. I mean, we just got to reach out and say, hey, communication. Hey, here's what I need. So that's what I want to do, is just get more involved. And that's what made me want to continue on as president.
Very good. Got two other questions that'll be for both of you. I'll have Carol first and then Mac answer. So first question is, after being on the KLEF executive committee for the past 4 years for Carol, 3 years for Mac, leading up to this point, what would you say to anyone considering getting involved with KLEF, considering becoming a trustee or an executive committee member?
Be ready to do some work. You're going to be asked to be on committees and do things that you've probably never done before in your life. It's been an interesting ride so far, and I'm looking forward to my year as president. I just want to continue on, make us even stronger than we are now, and just build Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation more and more each year as we go along.
Very good. How about you, Carol?
In my particular case, I would tell people to realize that this is not just a position that's a title only, that there is work that's involved with it, that this is a foundation, and in order for it to function properly, then you have to be willing to do the work on those committees and in the various positions that you're holding. So I think a lot of times people think, oh, I want to do that because I want that title. But in this case, you have to be willing to also do the work involved that goes with that title.
Absolutely. 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 Good opportunity for people to step up and say yes, but knowing what the commitment is and following through is for everybody's good experience is kind of the ultimate goal, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Absolutely. So then last question for both of you as well. Carol first, and then I'll turn it to Mac to answer. What has been your greatest experience while working with KLEF so far?
That's an interesting question, and it sort of depends on what hat I have on at the time. Am I actually a volunteer where I'm out doing screening? If that's the case, then probably my greatest would be simply being able to identify those, especially children that have issues that the parents know nothing about. On the other hand, if I look at it from being president, one of the most exciting things that I did this year was being able to present some finest Davises to some individuals who weren't expecting that they were going to be getting one. So, but we're very deserving of that recognition. So that has been a highlight as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it's nice to celebrate those moments with individuals, especially when they're not expecting. Like I said, it's a surprise, and someone who's very humble and yeah, kind of taken aback in a good way. So awesome. Thank you for helping recognize those individuals, because that is contagious positively, right? And others aspire to be in that position. So very good. How about you, Mac?
Recognizing our Lions is something that we need to continue to do. I look forward to being able to do that. And I have been lucky enough to, there again, going back, I hate to keep going back to one of my favorite things is the Mr. and Miss Basketball, being able to meet and greet folks that I've never been able to meet and greet if it hadn't been for KLEF and Mr. and Miss Basketball. So I look forward to that in the coming years. And I just think that our growth is just, it's waiting to happen, and let's make it happen.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, hopefully everyone watching is inspired and, perhaps motivated to seek the opportunity to get more involved, or has a better understanding a little bit through personal experiences and feedback from each of you who've been heavily involved and continue to be. And so as we begin our newest fiscal year, I just want to extend a sincere thanks again on behalf of the entire KLEF team to each of you, Carol Hollander, our immediate past president, and Mac Ferguson, our current president of our board of trustees. Thank you all again for viewing today. And before we officially close this down, any final parting words that might have come to mind as we've had this conversation today, Carol or Mac?
I look forward to seeing a lot of people face to face at the clubs out in the state.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to the foundation expanding even beyond what it currently does. I think that there's a great possibility for that in the near future.
Yep, I agree.
Very good. Well, the sky's the limit. We'll see what we can together accomplish in support of our mission to provide vision services through education, detection, prevention, treatment, and empowerment. And thanks to each of you watching, to Mac and Carol again for your time. And please, we invite you to learn more about our organization through our website or our social media. So website would be kylionsI.org. You can find us on social media at KYLionsI. As always, reach out if we can help, and we look forward to celebrating a wonderful year once we revisit here next July, perhaps. So thank you, and stay tuned and take good care.